Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, whatever time it is for you. It's Saeed here, your friendly neighborhood enterprise officer based in Manchester, and I'm here with another video on quite an important topic, right? Let's just share my screen and we can get straight into it. So, to start, for anyone that's based in Manchester or any other campus, if you're watching this and really want to have a meeting and kind of discuss your business idea, then scan that QR code using your phone and we can talk and we can discuss things and we can see where we can take it from. Amazing. Now to get into it. So today we'll be talking about how you can unlock the power of marketing and creativity and how to think outside the box in a changing world. We all know marketing and creativity is it's always changing. It's never staying the same. Things are always developing. And ultimately, you want to stay on top of it. Digital marketing constantly changes. You never know what that's going to look like or how it's going to adjust. So yeah, and think of it this way: marketing without creativity is like a sailboat without wind. It won't really take you anywhere. In today's world, creativity is no longer optional. It's really essential. So whether you're building your own personal brand or you're launching a business, really thinking outside the box and set you apart from what is nowadays a crowded market with loads of saturation. Now, I want you to think about the last time you noticed an advert, a campaign, even a simple Instagram post that really stuck with you. What made it stand out? Was it funny? Was it emotional? Was it unusual and a bit weird? Think about it and maybe even write it down. That example, why did it resonate with you? We'll come back to this later, right? But today, I really want to show you how to unleash your creativity in marketing and really adapt to a world that's constantly changing, constantly in flux. Seasons, things go out of season, come back into season. We're going to dive into how to think outside the box, why change is an opportunity and not a challenge. And really, by the end of this video, hopefully you will walk away with some ideas on how you can apply this to your project or your business. And why creativity is the lifeline of marketing. Let me just arrange my notes here. I put some nice slides together, which I like to think they're kind of creative, right? But look at that picture, the sailboat. This is actually the slide I was meant to be on, the sailboat. What marketing without creativity is like a sailboat without wind. Boom, that sailboat's got wind and that sailboat is going places, right? All right, let's get back into it. So, why does it matter at the end of the day? Creativity isn't just about really being different, it's about being memorable, right? So, great marketing has the ability to really connect with people, not just on a superficial level, but really on an emotional level, whether it's making them laugh, or making them cry, or just making them think in general. It leaves an impression. And here's a secret: you don't need a massive budget to be creative. You just need, a fresh perspective, idea which hasn't been done before. Let's look at Greg's, for example, right? Very famous British bakery chain. When they launched their vegan sausage roll, they didn't just market it like they usually would. They really tried to turn it into what I would call a cultural moment. From, the posts that they made on Twitter, which were kind of witty, to the cheeky videos they released. They really turned what was a simple product into a massive viral campaign just by doing a lot of different things at the same time. Or when you think about Spotify, right? They've got a wrapped feature, and a lot of companies initially would have focused on the features that they brought out. They would have really been product focused. What can we tell our customers about what we did this year? But they turned it on its head. They used the data that they had on each listener to show that user's top songs, artists of the year, and just loads of other information, which was it became super shareable. So everyone wants to share, who they were listening to, and just kind of have a snapshot of the music you listen to. And it did so well that it's now marketing on behalf of them. People share that, other people see Spotify, they want to get in on it. So let's try like a quick exercise, right? Just think about a product or a service you love. It could be your favorite coffee shop that you go to regularly. It could be a brand of trainers that you like, or even an app that you might use daily. For me, it would be Medito. It's a meditation app that I do like to use. Now, imagine you're in charge of marketing it. What's one outside the box way you could make it stand out? For me, I mean, one really out of the box way would be doing public meditations, in train stations and busy places where it's branded with Medito, the app's name, and it just draws attention to it. What's that guy sitting there? What are those 10 people sitting cross-legged in the middle of this busy train station? They're meditating. So do something like that. Think about it. Can you use humor to make it stand out? Can you turn it into a story? Can you collaborate with someone unexpected to really kind of amplify it? Write down the idea and really don't hold back. It's not about perfection, it's about creativity, huh? And how can we think outside the box, right? You want to be able to ask what if questions. What if your product was a person? What if it was a movie? Things like that really spark ideas. Look beyond your industry as well. Borrow ideas from other industries. How can a local cleaning service market itself like a tech startup? Super interesting, but could work. And remember, not every idea will work, but testing unusual approaches usually uncovers something brilliant. If you're promoting a tutoring service, for example, instead of running traditional ads, why not host a free study challenge on TikTok, right? Creativity. Now, embrace change. Marketing is never static. It's always evolving, in and out, new things, trends. The platforms change, the customer expectations change. Things that looked like normal today are going to be completely different in 5 years. But instead of fearing change, we should embrace it as an opportunity to grow and connect in new ways, right? So think about how brands used to rely on print ads in newspapers and big budget TV commercials. Then social media came along and completely changed the game. Now, short video has come along like TikTok and has changed the game again. You don't need a billboard to reach millions, thousands of people. You just need a great TikTok video. Look at Nike. They really adapted to the social media and have become very much leaders in creating inspiring, shareable content, that resonates with me, probably with you and just everyone. And mostly about your values. You're not just trying to put money towards Nike. You kind of like the videos because it makes you feel something. It's really important to experiment, right? Change creates room for creativity. When new platform or trends emerge, there's no rule book, there's no this is how we used to do it. It's all opportunity. Instagram initially wasn't built for shopping, but brands turned it into their storefront. TikTok wasn't built for professional advice, but people use it to share career tips and tutorials. And these shifts didn't come from the platforms themselves. They came from the users, the creative marketers, the people on there who saw an opportunity in that change. Now think about your own work, your own business idea. What's one change happening in your industry or on a platform you use? How can you use that and adapt it and basically lead the way in that change? For example, if short form video is really growing, could you experiment with reels on TikTok? Just take 30 seconds, write it down. What can you do in your industry, or a platform you use? A new change is happening. How can you really jump on that and become the leader of it? Food for thought. Now, 4 actionable strategies, right, to really unlock marketing creativity today. Start with your audience. Creativity. Ugh, I need water. Give me a second. Creativity begins with understanding your audience. What are their needs? What are their pain points? What are their aspirations? Who do they want to be? For example, if you're targeting busy parents, your message, really might focus on that convenience and reliability of your product or service. Use data as inspiration. Data isn't just numbers, right? It's a creative tool. Just as we spoke about with the Spotify Wrapped campaign, they used their user data and turned it into a story everybody wanted to share about themselves. You want to be consistent but not boring, right? Your tone, your message, it should feel the same. You should really be resonating with them in the same way. But don't be afraid to surprise your audience. Brands like Innocent Drinks, they're very quirky, they're unexpected humor, quite eccentric. It keeps people engaged, they don't get bored with Innocent's kind of bland. I mean, I wouldn't say the juices are bland, but they could be, the branding could be, the marketing could be. They want to stay top of mind. Finally, collaborate with others, right? Partnership can spark creativity. For example, a local coffee shop or cafe could partner with a yoga studio. They could do a coffee and calm event. Stay calm during coffee. Don't know how that works with the caffeine, but it's an idea. Who can you work with? Partnerships make you both stronger. You want to look for those win-win collaborations. Now, remember creativity, right? It really thrives on risk. Not every idea will work. That's totally fine. But the most successful campaigns often come from taking chances and being willing to fail fast and learn. Do something, fail, great, didn't work. What do we do? Pivot. Next thing, do that, try it. Went better, but not as great. Third thing, wow, that's been a success. You fail fast, you learn, you pivot, and then you're successful. Now, just to sum up, right? Marketing and creativity, they go hand in hand. The best campaigns come from thinking outside of the box and adapting to a constantly changing world, which you're going to have to do. Creativity is about standing out and connecting emotionally. Change, it really isn't a challenge, it's an opportunity to innovate. And great ideas come from bold thinking and experimentation. Now, here's my final challenge to you. Over the next week, I want you to take one project, one product, or one idea you're working on and ask yourself a few questions. Firstly, how can I think outside the box? How can I adapt to what's changing in my industry or platform and use that to my advantage? Test one creative approach, right? See what happens. Even if it doesn't work perfectly, it might fall flat in its face. It might be okay. You learn something very valuable for it. Marketing really is an art and a science. I do believe that. I've been doing marketing for many years now, and you never know what works, but you just keep trying. It's about connecting with people in the ways they don't expect, but they deeply appreciate when it happens. And the beauty of creativity is that it doesn't require a big budget, just a willingness to see the world a little bit differently. I genuinely can't wait to see what ideas you come up with from listening to this, from just using your imagination. And thank you for listening, Whitney. Just a short spiel on why I think creativity, marketing, art, all of that meshed together. One final note, just again, if you do want to talk to me one on one, completely free for GBS students, scan that QR code and we'll speak. I'd love to hear more about your idea and see how I can help you. Ta-ra.